afternoon. This is Mario. Yes, beloved, it's not the voice of my one and only sister. Yes, I am once again sitting in for Mary Moorhead, better known as Peggy, and known as my one and only sister. She is otherwise preoccupied with critically important matters of the Board of Education. And so I am once again going to make my best attempt at filling in for my one and only sister. At the beginning, I say I am grateful for yet another opportunity to share information and enlightenment with my beloved audience. Never could get too much of that, so let me express my sincere gratitude for yet another opportunity. And I get started out with some good news. Yes, indeed. This is definitely not the Amsterdam ice cream program, but I think that my sister will allow for me to be able to announce that while yesterday was when as people run into me after the program point out, Mario, you keep saying Amsterdam ice cream is our best stress relief. We believe you. It's it's good stress relief after ice cream. But you was giving me stress. How you tell me about due to circumstances beyond their control, they couldn't open, and that was yesterday because they was out for a fortnight. They took a break, had a holiday, a little vacation break, and they were due back yesterday. And well, I learned at the last minute that they were not open or were not going to be open. And I was like, what? After I should open and they open, what going to happen? And the sister telling me, you know, the message I get is to tell your beloved audience that due to circumstances beyond their control, they would not be open. I said, Lord, Harry the judge. That's it? Yeah, that's it. I said, what I think. Well, that is what makes for good news now, today. No, 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 no. no. I'm sure my screen is not open, not open yet. They're still closed. But the good news is that they are going to be open Saturday. Yes. Saturday. This Saturday here today is Wednesday. That is Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 3 days, Have Some Ice Cream will be back. And so that is the good news that they will be back. And beloved, uh, well, I guess I could, for one thing, uh, point to who was it? uh, yes, we had uh, Jeremy Gautier. Jeremy Gautier won the Crucian History question from last Tuesday. And so I had said to him that as of yesterday, they would be back and he could collect his, I think it was gooseberry, quarter of gooseberry ice cream. Well, I am now telling him that I apologize on behalf of Hamsam Ice Cream, but that as of Saturday, 3 days from now, as of this Saturday, Mr. Jeremy Gautier, you can pick up your full quart of gooseberry ice cream. Good thing. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And then yesterday, we had a winner in Verdel Peterson. Verdel Peterson won yesterday, and she too favors gooseberry. And I am now announcing to Verdel Peterson that as of Saturday, 3 days from now, as of Saturday, Amsterdam Ice Cream will be reopening, and you could pick up your full quart of gooseberry ice cream. Hey, gooseberries are big ticket, you know. So yes, Mr. Gautier and Miss Peterson, uh, you all could collect your winnings, your gooseberry ice cream as of Saturday. And so I am very, very, very pleased to be able to announce that because I myself didn't like that. Well, that as a reason for not opening yesterday due to circumstances beyond our control. Uh, it left me, wanting. So I am very, very, very pleased to be able to announce that Armstrong Ice Cream will be back as of Saturday. I think we could make it for 3 more days. I have to do it because I ain't got no Armstrong ice cream in my freezer left. Yes, I had to dip into mustache, and I am without any stress relief right now. So it was not a good day for me yesterday at all. But I do believe we could make it to Saturday. 3 days, 200, one day at a time. Now then, um, my one and only sister is an educator at heart. She is a career educator, retired as a teacher, and well, it's only fitting that I try to stay on track. And so whenever I am substituting for her, like now, I try my best to stay on things educational in her name. And we got a caller and come with me. Let's go there. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Moorhead. How are you feeling today?
I am feeling well. Be able to announce that Armstrong Ice Cream is back. That's put me on a good level to welcome you. And I hope you as well as your son.
Well, Sunday I turned 62, and I
Congratulations.
got a lot of thank you. I got a lot of calls, not only to wish me happy birthday, but I got calls from St. John to St. Louis about the water situation,
Yeah.
and I just said yesterday I was busy. I had some doctor appointment, so I didn't get to listen to your program. I'll call it, but today I said I wasn't sure if it was you or you were sitting next to your sister, but I just wanted to call and just speak a little bit about the water situation. I want
Please feel man, no, feel free, feel free.
yeah, I want people to understand this Whopper's financial situation right now in St. Croix at the Richmond facility. They're leasing, renting these generators from Algreco. The lease agreement with some more listeners is $800,000 a month.
$800,000, $800,000,
A month.
and that was $200,000 short of $1 million.
It's 9.6 million per year.
Just, oh, that's serious money, my son.
So that along with the Harley situation. The Harley situation, they went and they purchased smaller capacity generators from Wasil, a Finnish company. Mr. Moorhead and listeners, a friend of mine who worked at the facility and attended a seminar on the training of operating these Wasilla units. Well, when they took a break, to just a refreshment break, my friend was speaking with one of the engineers that was there at the seminar, and he was being a little sarcastic. My friend didn't understand what he meant at first, but he said, well, we all got those generators cheap. So he saw my friend had one of them for fees on. So he thought like that, but it wasn't where I got to be joking. So he got used to it. Well, what I meant was y'all gonna be just paying out of the what due for maintenance. So said, so done. The other thing that it seems that is an issue with these units are they were basically built for peak service use. And what I mean by that is peak service. Most utilities take 2 peak readers daily. 7 a.m. when most people are getting up and the load requirement is coming into the grid, or 7 p.m. when most people are getting home. So during these times, you might need a little extra power for a few hours during the peak. And you would start at one of these smaller units to meet the load requirement. They're not the GE broadcast units that we have running 24/7, 365, that might have a 20-something meg or a something meg capacity. Other people will say, oh, we don't need these big generators. But what they're unaware of is that a big unit is what we have in the plant is known as a line engine. And a line engine basically is the head generator. So if there is a fault or a surge on the line and it comes into the plant, well, the line engine will protect the rest of the units so that you wouldn't have what occurred with the district-wide outage because the whole plant has gone black. Say, for instance, the line engine is running at 16 meg and a 6 megawatt surge comes in. Well, the line engine will shed 6 meg. It might lose a feeder, but you would still have 10 megs available and it would protect the rest of the units from the surge. If you have a 6 megawatt unit or a 9 megawatt unit and a surge comes in that's over their capacity, well, it's just going to knock them down right down the nose. And that apparently is what's been occurred. The other thing with St. John and my good friend who lives on St. John, and she was back to the St. Jonians. When I looked at Waco, we had a generator on St. John. It was a smaller diesel generator that we called 7G. But it was there so that if we should lose something in Harley in St. Thomas, we could call the operating things that happens the emergency unit so that St. John would be energized. I don't know why they took it out. More likely, but every time something happens, it comes down to the bottom line money. And that's why they have the submersible on the water cable going from Capita Point out and the east and St. Thomas going over to Cruz Bay. But they have been having issues with these cables. That's why St. John's has been having the issue that they've been having. And then the governor was on a program several weeks ago and was asked specifically about having a generator specifically for that area. And he said they don't need it. You know, I'm just hoping I'm saying to somewhere that this electoral cycle, which no gubernatorial cycle comes this November, that we have some qualified candidates that should help lead the Virgin Islands moving forward, you know. And one of the things I think we need to focus on is education, whether it is in the schools, and that's where everything starts, because we need an educated populace who know civics, know how to vet prospective candidates, so that people can just come and say, oh, I'm willing to put my hat in the ring for public service, but it's going in there for self and not to serve its constituency. So we have to be a little bit more educated, but then it goes back to what you've been preaching in the morning. We have to have accountability. And in order for us to have that, we need what? Reapportionment. And I don't think we're going to change anything politically with our first branch of government, even though we might have dedicated people who might want to go in there and serve the community. But if they're operating in a system that is not structurally correct based on the U.S. Constitution with one representative per district, then I don't see how we could turn this around. I mean, like I said, 62 years old, the community level. I think the only way out of this is getting the younger generation and educating them. Because, you know, no matter how much we have these top programs, we have this sports, everything else, a lot of the older people who are set in their ways, it's hard to, you know, teach up old guys and traits activity. But just wanted to call in
well, again, I certainly appreciate you, but again, yes, I always look forward to having conversation and discussions about education, but you went straight to WAPA. And I think that is essential because, well, what could we do without electricity? Uh, and I would just like to go back there long enough to ask of you because you
Sure.
definitely seem to be uh, more expert on the subject than I am. I know next to nothing about WAPA producing electricity and the turbines and generators. I don't know about these things, you know. So I would like to ask of you. Uh, WAPA has been, and I'm not over exaggerating when I say an eternal problem to us here in the territory. And yes, every 2 years we have a election. Every 4 years we get the general election, for uh, government house, and we get all kind of promises and whatnot. Uh, I would like to ask of you, with the expertise that you articulated here this afternoon, uh, I mean, what do you think our problem is? That I mean, year after year, decade after decade. Uh, I mean, ever since I can recall when we got power in Frederickston, uh, down on what is now that intersection that would be Market and Strand Street, and when we got power in the town of Frederickston, that was back what, in the 1940s. Yes, I think it was during World War II that we got the power. But anyway, the point being is that we have always had a problem generating electricity that we can consider reliable and affordable. So I ask of you, you know, help my beloved audience and me to understand what is the problem that we just can't get rid of so that we can have reliable and affordable electricity. Why? Why is it problematic to us?
Well, let me start by saying this. When I first went to work at Walker in June of '97, we had a reliable way of producing power to our steam generated turbines and our boilers. The gas turbine, which burned diesel, was we would maybe run one of them as a filler because they burned a lot of diesel, and diesel is an expensive fuel. I don't know. They had the decision to go away from that was done through the WAPA governing board and upper management. It was never a discussion between the operator who operate the equipment, the line department, and the men and women that work in the plant. Those decisions were made above our pay grade and above our heads. Those decisions, which we are suffering through now all the way to LPG and Wasilla, didn't make any sense. But as an employee, you really didn't have a say, even though you're employed, you live in the community, and you would be subjected to just about everything that everybody's going through with reliability and the cost of energy. I heard Mr. Fleming, the energy director, talking about future ways to produce energy. And when he talked about geothermal, which for anybody who might not understand what geothermal is using volcanic activity. If you have volcanic activity
Yeah, but
turn around.
before you take us too far down the road, you said, but we don't have the natural resource of
We
this
don't have that.
this
What I was
kind of
explaining with the morning I was listening to that when they were talking about this being a renewable way, which is this is going and using that temperature to make steam to kind of steam the turbine. We already had that steam, whether it was in Richmond and St. Croix or St. Thomas. Management took us off of that system and gave the Virgin Islands this current system, which is less reliable and more costly. Now, how do we fix the problem? Well, from what I'm told, we still could go back to the boilers, which would, to me, lower the cost of producing power. To be more reliable from altitude, a lot of the altitude happen out in the field, whether it is overgrowth with trees growing into the line.
well, even though it sounds rather implicit, you still seem to be saying to me that it's a problem with management.
Yeah, that's it right there, Mr. Morehead.
And okay, all right,
It's management
all right,
that is the problem.
all right. Well,
So we would have to change management and their thinking in order to turn this problem around.
gotcha. Well, so
Because,
for November, we need to find somebody who will go in the government house and bring in new management for WAPA.
well, that's where it's going to start, and
All right.
that's where it needs to start because
All right.
their subordinates, they don't make these decisions. They just have to go ahead with the decision.
Yes, that's serious situation. Yeah. Well, again, we're the top of the hour. I appreciate it, and we will at least I will, given every opportunity to have a conversation with candidates, I will try to zero in on this matter of management. How can we uh, see about getting better management for WAPA? Appreciate
So let
you.
me just say this quickly, Mr. Moore, as we're
Yes.
at the top of the hour. With the fact that I have an aunt and family that lives in Denmark, Copenhagen, I'm going to try to reach out to them to see what we can do to try to start fostering a relationship, seeing that Denmark gets 50% of its power through wind turbines and renewable energy can help
Okay.
come and look at the overall situation with the Virgin Islands, what they can give as a way of consultation.
We certainly will appreciate the effort.
Well,
Thank you much.
Mr. Morehead. You're welcome.
Thank you much. All right.
John, let's
Okay.
hope the government will fully behind Armstrong, fully support them, get this ice cream package. I need it up there ASAP.
Good thing. Thank you much. Thank you much. All righty. All right. All right.
Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. Oh, train, beloved. White and blue. We will be right back. with that, and I do believe we've got Carla holding on for us. So come with me. Let's do that. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for your call. Thank you for your patience. Welcome.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't think Denmark is the place for us. Denmark has so many different fuel sources that we don't. From the basic wind, they get 22 miles per hour on average wind.
That's a lot of wind, man. That's a lot of wind.
It's
That's
a lot of wind.
22 miles that's the average. That's a lot, man. That's a lot.
Yeah. I would say we get like 2 miles per hour on average. So they and then they have natural gas, oil, fields, and the such.
But the difference between 2 miles and 22 miles is that's a world of difference right there.
Yes. But we have other places much closer to us that are doing things that we should be doing. I think I mentioned it to you before. Huntsville, Alabama, they are doing a lot with waste to energy things. They have been primarily using it to create steam, as your last caller talked about. So we can use it to create steam to drive our turbines.
Yeah.
And in doing that, we also get really good fresh water out of it. Better than what Seven Seas can give us. Seven Seas uses filters to filter the salt out of the water.
Yeah.
But using distillation does it much better, and that's what WAPA used to do. And everybody used to be talking about how good the WAPA water tasted.
Right.
And that was the reason. So we could use our waste to create used fuel, and you could do it in several different ways. Some being low tech, like burning it, but you can use filters to control the stuff not getting in the air. And this is what they do in Huntsville, Alabama. And Huntsville, Alabama, even though it's in Alabama, it's not backward. It's not backwards. This is where NASA Marshall Flight Center is, and what used to be Army Missile Command, but they changed the name, and I don't remember the new name. But this is where all the rockets for missiles and for our spaceships were designed and built.
Yeah.
At the end of World War II, the U.S. rushed in, grabbed up Germany's top rocket scientist, von Braun, and took him to Huntsville, Alabama, and said, "You'll be making rockets for us now." And so that's where all the rockets, from the beginning of the space program, going to the moon the first time, came from. And all the missiles, including the Patriot missiles and whatnot. And now also the drones are being developed here.
Okay.
And so this is using their waste to burn it to create active fuel, to boil water to create steam, and they initially are using it for heat to heat the NASA and the military installations. But now they are going to increase the pressure and temperature so that they can use it in turbines to produce electricity.
Right.
So we have the know-how. It's right there. We could easily, as the federal government, we could easily find out what they're doing.
And this is this is where I'd like to cut in, because I mean, I confess I'm pretty ignorant when it comes to WAPA and the whole matter of producing power, whether it's generators, wind, solar, whatever. I confess I'm ignorant. I can read, I comprehend what I read,
Right.
but again, because you seem to have a firmer grip on well, what could possibly be solutions. I would like to once again uh, hold on to you to ask, well, how could we make better use of your expertise, being that in what 7, 8 months now is away from the elections, we're going to have somebody new in government house. And the previous caller, what I got out of it is that we, uh, we have never had decent management for WAPA. And I was somebody who can articulate, the problems and the options as you just quickly did. I can follow that. I understood what you said. Usually these people, they talk to me for a half an hour, and when we get through, all I can get out of it is, yeah, yeah, we definitely need a change, you know.
Well, the problem is that people accept nonsense from them. They don't have to do anything. I've offered my services to offer. I've had directors when they're on the show. I call in.
All right, but here I am,
things.
and I've got this platform, and I've got a
Right.
big mouth, and
Right.
I'm so patriotic. You could call me nationalistic when it comes to my home in St. Croix, the Virgin Islands, and the Caribbean, and a descendant of enslaved Africans. Now I fit right in there, you know, and I would very much like to offer all of these services to you on this platform uh, to see if we could have a measurable improvement in WAPA. I mean, who pays more for electricity under the American flag than this unincorporated territory of the Virgin Islands? It's a little place, I understand. You get 3 islands, that we have to service, so there's a little trick to it there. But Lord Harry, the judge, I mean, don't tell me that, after a year of trying at this, because like I said, I could recall from around World War II when we got power in Frederickson. I was a little boy, uh, and we have never been able to supply what I could say affordable, reliable power in the Virgin Islands, much less St. Croix.
Well, and that's because of where we are. We have no natural fuel source like other places do. We don't have any oil. We don't have any natural gas.
Yes.
We are so
But there's so many other places that fall in that category too, though. There's so many other places, and again, yes, and after that, that is 3 islands. But you have.
They don't have EPA to deal with. So EPA restricts us in ways that the other islands don't.
But that's just it. But you understand these things. You understand these things. You understand these things. This is what you articulated. And that's all that I'm saying is that.
As I said, physics is the science of energy and motion and matter, which is involved in generating electricity. You have to have these things. So this is why I can easily pick up anything, any paper, anything in these areas and read it and understand it within an hour. Because I've been doing this for most of my life.
Well, why don't you give it some thought? Why don't you give it some thought? Because I'm saying, well, hey.
And that's what I'm saying. I have, and I've been given information, like, so for instance, Brother Q had his organization. I joined that. They had a thing they invited WAPA.
Fine, good. But I've got this platform, and I'm saying I am, more than willing, to embrace your ability and amplify it for you on this platform, because like I said, we got call it a 6 month period to try and bring about some kind of change, a measurable change for WAPA.
So what I've recommended is, and what I've been recommending for a while, is that we need to include waste to energy. That should be one of our focuses. We also need to be moving towards natural gas.
Well, why don't you develop that scenario here? And I promise you, the platform, is yours. And we're not talking any, pay for play thing, nothing here. We just want to improve the situation for all of us here as dependent creatures in this unincorporated territory. And yes, so yes, I would like to learn.
And WAPA has the plan, but the thing is, they don't get the full story and they run with it and run into problems.
Well,
so when back when Brother Q brought this, I'm thinking at that.
I know you spoke about that, but now we're talking a different thing. And I am trying to ride you now, for the 6 month, to election to bring about some measurable.
I'm trying to start from now.
Yes, good.
What it is that and WAPA knows this, but they just don't want to put the effort in. So I brought it up as that thing that Hovensa at the time was you had a byproduct called industrial gas that came from the refining thing, but they didn't really have a need for it, so they were just flaring it, they were just burning it up. And so I told Russ, I asked him to get in contact with Hovensa to see if they would sell that to us. It's akin to natural gas. It has the same components, but not the same percentages. But it can be used as a fuel. Well, apparently he must have done so, and Hovensa decided to use it for themselves. So about a month later, I heard that some guy on the radio was saying he flew down with some guys who came from the States, going to Hovensa to install that system. But then WAPA gave up on it. Then I was pushing, telling them natural gas. I knew that natural gas was going to boom because they were doing fracking. And I saw that, okay, this is going to be a big thing. So I told them natural gas, they decided to do propane instead. Propane is an easier system to put together. But propane is more expensive than natural gas and fluctuates with the oil because it comes from the oil, again, a byproduct of the refining process. So here we are now, millions of dollars into it, and no better. Meanwhile, what I was seeing was going to happen. The U.S. now has more natural gas from fracking than Saudi Arabia has oil. They are selling oil to China, natural gas to China and other places, which means those ships are passing us by on the way to China. When they could have, if we had put in a system, they could have easily stopped and give us what we need, because our amount is so tiny compared to what they're going to be carrying to China. Stopping here and giving us a little bit of it is not going to be a big deal. But instead, they're just sailing by while St. Thomas is on rotation.
I would urge you to, package your idea, and I am more than ready to help you promote it right here, beginning next week. It's Tuesday. Tuesdays.
This would also help us with our problem with our landfills. Just like I said,
all I'm saying is, yes, I hear you, and right now, from my perspective, you are best shot. I am trying to grab a hold of you and to uh, convince you that yes, you know, I am more than willing to offer this platform for change.
So, what is it that you want me to do?
Well, when would you be first available to come in and, express it? Package your idea so that, pardon me?
You tell me when?
Well, we could begin next Tuesday if you're ready.
Yeah. I mean, I can easily get because I said that I've been doing this for decades now.
Well, there you are. I am as serious as you can get.
Yeah. All right. So, what time?
Again, you tell me the time. You know I'm here 12:30 to 4:30 with a 3:30 conclusion history question. You know the deal.
Right. So let's say 1 o'clock.
Hey, why not?
All right. So I'll prepare, get everything, and lay it out.
Yeah. We're looking at 6 months to make some measurable change. We're not talking about a brand new WAP or anything, but Lord Harry the judge, let us
Yeah.
get a measurable change with this,
Looking at our
election.
situation,
Pardon
looking at
me?
our situation, this is the direction we need to go in. It's so obvious. It's shameful.
Well,
that
good.
we
That's
haven't
what
done
that
it
what
yet.
this is what I want to hear, and
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
let's do it.
So,
Well,
so
if
and
some
I said our nails also the different, wind, solar, and the different things that
package it for
we
us,
have been talking about.
and
But
tell us what is best that we can get
right,
for this November here, that we could get
right,
measurable change, so that we could, uh, well, actually, uh, figure out which one of the possible all the possible candidates,
right.
would be,
And it's not just one; it's a combination.
well, whatever
It's
it
a
is.
combination of
I'm riding
right,
with you. I'm riding with you.
right,
Whatever however you see it, that's fine.
yeah,
I just want for us to forever, you know, put all this talk aside and let us get some measurable change with this election.
yeah, yeah.
1 o'clock next Tuesday.
And on another subject, I have a question for you. Yesterday, you and a caller, I think I heard you all say that Ethiopia was the first place that Germany invaded for World War II, or did I
The
miss that?
caller did. The caller did, and I didn't
Okay,
take it on.
right.
But
They said that,
he's referring to the Italian invasion, and that's a whole other
exactly,
subject matter.
right. And in fact, Germany was secretly helping Ethiopia, giving them web cannons, rifles, and what
I
have you,
I
right
I
to
am
Italians.
yes, I'm aware that yes,
Right.
I know the
Yeah.
conversation. I didn't take it on. I heard him, and he made a spiel, and again because it's more involved than a 5 minute,
Right.
corrected discussion. So I just let it be.
So leave it alone. Okay. So that's what I was wondering. I was like, and I looked it up and I was like,
Well, you will
that's
find
right.
that very often I do that. People
Yeah.
say things that I don't agree with, but I know they want to be heard and they'd like to be, you know, uh, in discussion with me. So I don't take it on. I let it go.
Right. Right.
I am 86 and
Okay.
I'm trying to make it to 87, and stress is not going to kill me. Not going to allow it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
I just
So
wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something. Okay.
no, you're not.
All right.
Okay. All right. So for sure, 1 o'clock next. Not next. That's only one Tuesday
Yeah.
come Tuesday.
And
We
I
look
got to put
forward
it
to
in
it.
my calendar as soon as I get off, or I'm going to forget.
Yeah.
So if I don't show up, it's not that I didn't want to. It's that something distracted me from putting it in my calendar as soon as I hung up.
There would be another Tuesday after that one. There would be another Tuesday.
Exactly, right.
You
But
know,
I'll try and get it in my calendar as soon as I hang up so that
good thing, good thing.
that doesn't happen.
But we need to help ourselves, and I think that
Yeah,
you know, you are a good tool. You are a good tool, and we got a platform. Let's take advantage of it.
right. We're a small place. We got to use what we have.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, good enough.
Oh, and that's the basis of my of my proposal to use what we have.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me.
Yeah. All right.
Good enough.
See next
Thank you.
Tuesday.
Alrighty. Beloved, one thing that we need to talk a little about today is the our loved ones are alive in our hearts march and program that beautiful Aisha has organized and will be taking place this Sunday, April 12th, with a street march starting at 12 p.m. from the Fred State Fish Market down Strand Street to Borough Park, where a program will start at 1 p.m. Beloved, I want to spend a little bit of time today talking about this because it's just like, well, the conversation we're just having about WAPA. We talk a lot about these things, but we don't do anything. Well, the matter of violence in our community is something that we talk about amongst ourselves. But our government is mute. They don't talk about it. And as far as I know, we don't talk to them about it. And so it is not a topic that I would say we're conversant in and we hear every time we're on talk radio. But beloved, I don't know if you've ever been to one of beautiful Aisha's March and program, because this is the 12th annual. She has been doing this for 12 consecutive years. And if you haven't been to one of these programs, beloved, you are missing how deeply impacted our small community is with the violence that well, it's just almost an everyday occurrence in our territory. And beloved, why I asked about you having been to one of these is because if you have been, you know just how emotional the program can get. Especially when we start to hear loved ones speaking about loved ones who are still alive in their hearts. beloved, it's heart-wrenching. It's difficult to not succumb to the, well, people. We got a call here, so let me go to the caller, beloved. Go straight in. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mario.
Thank you for your call. Welcome.
Yes, I heard your first caller, Grant, uh, said something today that blew my mind.
Oh,
I'll
well,
tell you why it blew my mind. I know of the Agreco generators and Syncroid, but
okay.
I thought that they were owned by WAPA. I didn't know they were paying $9.6 million a year. I mean, what is this?
Well, I don't know, but like I said to him and the caller after him that I confess that I'm ignorant uh, when it comes to to WAPA and the producing power, affordable power, you know. I just don't know about it. I can read, and I can understand if somebody explains it to me. But for all the decades that I have been alive, it has been an issue that seems to be somehow beyond the reach of our ability to do something about it. I mean, here we are, just months away from another election, and there's going to be a lot of talk about it, but the problem remains. And
Yeah,
so this is what now I've got, well, the Carla, just before you coming next Tuesday, we're going to start talking about this here and see if we can impress on a candidate or two or three, or whatever, uh, to make a measurable change in how we get affordable and a reliable power. So I'm
yeah,
listening.
but Mario, you sort of set the bar too high by saying you don't know anything about electricity. I was talking about knowing electrical engineering. I'm talking about the full fetch of paying $10 million to rent generators that they should have owned.
Well, again, I can understand that, and I reacted to that to the caller, but again, I don't know, you know, if renting as opposed to purchasing is the best way to go for WAPA, and this is what I was more referring to. But yes,
Nonsense.
they
Nonsense. I
they
could tell you nonsense. I
well,
could tell you
again,
nonsense.
well, help me out there, and I hope that you
But,
would be there to help us when we
but,
start
but,
getting into
but,
this
but
here, hopefully as of
I am,
Tuesday, because I think that we need to have a measurable, hear me, a measurable change in how we get affordable, reliable power in the Virgin Islands. It's way past time,
Mario,
man, way past time.
Mario,
Yes.
I am not a favored caller to no talk show because I just tell it like it is. I mean, the government them could say what they want about me, Carl Knight and them, but all of them put together knows nothing about running WAPA or any other thing that I say that. And I challenge any one of them to come on a talk show to talk electrical engineering with me. Okay. I mean, we like Poppy Show. That's the thing we like. And because your name is Brian, your name is Carl Knight, you should make $500,000. When the power is off, one on its off. Yeah, he's Carl Knight, and he's a cool son. That we want to continue with that. I don't have a problem with it. I feel for my people back home. That's why I removed myself from the bench. And I'm using bench because I use a stronger word. Okay, I remove myself from it. But I've said before, I purchased in 2009 condominium in a complex, and the power has never gone off. Why should it go off? Those centers are designed to stay on, Mario. I'm telling you this. You don't have to believe me.
No, I mean that's again that is something I can very easily understand. And yes, it troubles me. It troubles me that for my life, and I'm hoping to make 87 in the same November month when we vote. Uh, again, I have never known us to be getting affordable, reliable power. Only talking about it, but we never had.
That's not true. We were getting reliable and more affordable power.
Oh, you condition it.
50s and 70s.
All right. Are you condition it more reliable? All right. Okay. More affordable.
Less
But
expensive too.
all right. Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm telling you because I work there. I know.
I am not here to debate the issue. I want to correct the problem any way that I can help. Any way that I can help.
Tell me how you going to correct it.
By offering, like I said to the caller before you, by offering this platform, this program here, to the issue between now and elections in November. So hopefully,
you think that will correct it, Mario?
no.
You believe that will correct it?
You missed what I said earlier. So hopefully, I will let me say, I'll say it. Just hear me out. To be able to have a measurable change in WAPA, a measurable change.
Okay. Let me tell you what my unmeasurable change is.
Okay.
All of them that has been doing wrong and using WAPA as a cash cow should be castrated, might be too simple a term, but they should be made to.
Well, I would like to offer the platform so that my beloved audience, if nobody else, my beloved audience knows then, who we could point a finger to and ask questions of who are in position, because you would arm us with the information that we need to ask the questions.
Well, I don't go by saying this. Two of the biggest culprits is Albert Bryan, Junior Governor. I don't care whether he's a Centurion, Don Crucian, and one Carl Knight.
Okay.
Whose salary went from 250,000 to 500,000 to keep the power off.
Well, we are here for you. That's what I'm saying. I am offering the platform that I have, to hopefully bring a measurable change to WAPA this election.
Yeah, but Mario, you misunderstood what I say. When I bring what is, I know thing to be the change that's needed, I am told that I'm too aggressive, accustom my bad word. This thing drives out your mind.
Well, you have been with me. I did not say any of those things to you. And I'm saying to you now, I am offering this platform to help bring about a measurable change in WAPA by November. And again, Brian is out of it because he's gone. Knight is there. Yes, he's a target. Knight is there. Well, Knight is. Well, okay, well, fine. I don't have a problem with that either. But I'm thinking that.
I could say it a different way. He needs to be taken out.
No. Well, wait. We know we don't want to lose the platform to the federal government.
I ain't gonna lose the platform. Okay, let me do this. I will follow what I'm being told. Why I don't stay my
No,
stay
yes.
out of the body
All right.
problem.
All right.
I'm going to stay out of it. Okay. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
You all like it, sir. You all love it, sir.
Again, that's the way how you see it. Beloved, for the sake of, again, a little continuity to the issue, I just want you to know that, hey, I am, oh, it's another caller coming in, another caller coming in. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mario.
Yes, man. Welcome, 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 man.
Yeah, I missed the show yesterday, but I got
All right.
Yeah, I got to address the last caller. Mario, I've been listening to him for a very long time.
Yeah.
You understand? And he believes the reason why our problem is that certain people are make certain amount of money.
Yeah.
But even if you pay them people minimum wage
Yeah.
and the system is the same,
Yeah.
we can still be getting inadequate and reliable electricity. You don't think so?
Of course.
It ain't about how much money they're
No,
making.
I mean, I keep saying it. What I am talking about, because I don't have the knowledge a lot of these people have about electrical engineer and WAP and the generators and all. I don't know. What I know is that we deserve to have affordable and reliable power. And
then
that, and again, for the amount of money that we pay, we should have reliable and affordable power, because I just read, and just because I just read and say, I know that under the United States flag, you understand, it is difficult to find a location that pays higher for electricity than we do in this unincorporated territory of the Virgin Islands. All right. Well, this is what I'm saying, because I could read and comprehend what I read, but I don't know, about WAP. I don't know about electricity. I don't know about this. So I'm saying I am wanted to offer the platform so that we could get as much information as possible to try and make a change for November, to have people in place, who know what they're doing, as opposed to, what's been going on all my life. That's how I name it, because I was a young boy when we first get electricity in Frederickston, you know, and I am now 86, trying to make 87 in November. And all I'm saying is, Lord Harry the judgment. Can we just stop talking about it and do something to get us more affordable, more reliable?
I also had to laugh when the gentleman said that when he was in WAPA, we used to get more reliable. But say more reliable, we're looking for reliable. That's how it's supposed to be.
That's how it's supposed to be, reliable and affordable.
Yeah, when I say more reliable, that means the EV.
Thank you.
Like what we get now.
Thank you.
Yeah, but these kind of things that jump over people's head, yourself. But it is what it is, man. We want reliable electricity in the Virgin Islands.
Reliable, affordable.
Yeah.
Because right now, the power is not reliable and the power is not affordable.
And some people have been saying that the solution to the problem is to privatize. But I say privatization, even if they get reliable, it ain't going to be affordable. Because if you bring a a company here,
Yeah.
private, what they gonna want to do is make a profit by how they operate.
That's what private means.
Yeah, if they got private things, they gonna be way more expensive. You understand? So I don't think that privatization is the way to go. And I heard a gentleman say he's running for the governorship. I was trying to get him to ask you that because
Yeah.
he said that we should privatize. But I didn't get him to ask you the question then.
Yeah.
But anytime I hear you again, I'm going to try to get him to see what he said.
Well, that's what I would like to be able to use this platform for from here down the road to November, for us to be able to get a candidate or candidates who convince us that they know enough to give us affordable, reliable power. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and also I want Mr. CC proposals to fall on these people's ears. You understand? That's who I want to hear. You know, he is who I want to hear what he got to say, because if he bring in these proposals to the rank and file people, it will not make no sense. That's how I see it. People who running for who could do something about it. They is supposed to get these proposals. That's how I see it. They might be running. But if he can come telling me that we got to do this and I got to do that, I can't do it.
Right.
You understand?
I hear you.
You can't do it. But who is supposed to be able to do it, supposed to hear these things. That's all I want to say.
Right.
That's all I want to say.
Well, we on the same page here. That.
All right, Mario.
Stay strong, man. Good to hear you.
Yeah, man.
All right. I think we got a call coming in here now. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Yes. Good afternoon. Okay. Yeah, I don't expect the rank and file to be able to do their own work at WAPA, you know. But what they can do is put pressure on WAPA. What needs to be done is going to take work. It's going to take planning. It's not a simple thing. We don't have a simple way out. We should realize this by now, because if there was a simple way out, many directors of WAPA, CEOs of WAPA would have done it already. It's something complicated. It's something going to take work. They're already trying to keep the same system up, putting it out, just keep it going.
Yeah.
So they don't really want to do any extra work, any extra planning. And they're not going to do it until the people force them to do it. Put pressure on them to do it. I mean, who wants extra work? You're coming home tired already, and you want extra work? Even if you know that it's something that should be done, you're not going to be likely to do it unless there is something major to gain, like you're going to get a big bonus if you do it, or there's pressure on you to do it. And that's what people have not been doing. They've been, over the time, decades, I've been hearing WAPA give lousy excuses for not doing certain things. And the people just accept it because they don't understand how it works. And so anything WAPA says, they gobble up and back off. And that's why we're here 20. So from what you're saying, when we do back in when you were a child, was this the 50s?
40s.
40s. So that's what, 60 years, 80 years.
Yes.
This has been going on.
We're talking about World War II time, yeah.
Right. So, and so it should be obvious to the people now that the only way they get anything done is to put pressure on WAPA to do it. Not that we hate them, not that we think lowly of them.
Well, I take responsibility because I've said, and beloved, you heard me, and I repeat it. You know, I think this man here represents a good tool and I want to use him, you know, on this platform here for us to hopefully get, affordable, reliable power by
And it's
November
going to take the
election.
pressure from the public for them to do it. You're asking them to take on extra work. It's going, and they're already struggling just to keep the thing afloat.
There you
So it's going to take pressure for them to do the extra work. And if you let them on with stupid excuses, they're going to go home and get some rest and sleep.
I am riding with you, man. I am riding with you. I am speaking publicly here. And I'm saying I'm riding with you. You're the tool I choose out of the toolbox.
And so I'm going to lay out what needs to be done, what can be done, what needs to be done, and how the public, I've already talked about how the public can get them to do it, to put the pressure on them.
Sounds good to me.
It won't, and then it's up to the people to do it, whether it's up to the people of how badly.
Well, that part is where I come in now. That's where I come in to put pressure and, XYZ candidate for us to put them in position of power to make the change.
Right. And Whopper keeps trying going for the easy way out, which I understand. Like I said, I was promoting natural gas, but they took the easier way out, propane. I was like, okay, not the thing, but at least it's a step in the right direction. In fact, when they did it, one of the Avis, somebody from Avis called me and asked, they were referred to me and asked me what I thought about it. And that's what I said, that it's not the best. Natural gas is the best thing, but it's a step in the right direction. It's a gas. So they get used to using a gas and whatnot, and then hopefully in the future they move to natural gas. And it really all it takes is planning. And that's the other thing too, privatization. I've never been in favor of it because I'll be suspicious of anybody who would actually try to privatize Whopper. Because it's not going to be a moneymaker.
Yeah.
The best you can do is break even.
Yeah.
And so if they're looking at this to make money, that means they're going to rob us. That's the only way they're going to be able to make money off of it.
Yeah.
Is if they rob us.
Yeah.
And so I'll be suspicious of anybody. And that's what you see. They're not companies running out here trying to take over Whopper. Because it's not going to be a moneymaker.
Right.
It's a thing that government needs to do because at the best you can do is break even.
I hear you.
And so the people who are hoping for some private company, they must be smoking something very strong because I don't know what private company is. Or why would you invest in this when you're going to get peanuts for it when there's so many other things you could take your money and invest in and make a bunch of, even Bitcoin will make you more money. Oil will make you more money. Why would you take money and put it into a power plant down here in the Virgin Islands?
I got you. I got you.
There's no respectable and businessman who's not trying to rip us off will do that. It's up to our government, and that's what governments are supposed to do. They're supposed to break even. They're not supposed to be making profits. They're supposed to be breaking even. Because they're using the people's money to do this stuff.
Yeah.
My money and they make a profit off of it with the stuff that you develop. How is that supposed to work? Using my money to develop it and then try to turn and make a profit off of it. After taking my money through taxes and whatnot, and again, taxes are not voluntary. I can't say yes or no to how they spend the money. I can't say yes or no to them taking the money. If I don't give them the money, they're going to put me in jail.
Gotcha.
And then you're going to want to turn a profit off of the money that you took from me involuntarily? That's not right.
Mm-hmm.
A private company, I would be very suspicious of them if they look at Whopper and still want to do it. I'm like, okay, they got a gun behind their back, they're gonna rob.
Understandable.
It's coming, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
So yeah. But and I said, so it's really up to us. It's up to us whether or not we want affordable and reliable energy. It can be done. It's going to take a lot of work and planning. We could get money from the federal government if we come up with a plan. There is no way the federal government can say no to us.
We're certainly going to make a try at it.
Pardon me?
We're certainly going to make a try at it.
Yeah, but we have to go. We have to come up with a plan. We can't just go to them and say we want money. You know, but if we come up with a good plan, a decent plan, there is no way they're going to say no to us.
I got you.
Yeah. All right.
We'll talk some more.
Right.
Good thing. All right. And yes, beloved, every opportunity I get, got to talk to you about the 12th annual street march of our loved ones are alive in our hearts. Because, beloved, like WAPA, the violence in our community is something that just keeps getting worse. And we have absolutely no plan to counteract it. Well, beautiful Aisha has taken it upon herself. And for them and those of us who don't know, beloved, beautiful Aisha had the experience firsthand. Yes. She lost a son to gun violence. And she has since committed to doing all she can to bring about a change in how we allow our government to dismiss the issue of violence in our community. Brother Carl, beloved. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Moore.
Good afternoon to you and welcome.
Yes, thank you. I caught a part of it, but I didn't hear it clearly. This is Mr. CCLU speaking about I want to make reference to you yesterday, and you said that I think if I'm paraphrasing you, understand you that you didn't have enough time to really correct, to just let us go like that. So bring me up with that.
Well, you see, well, for one thing, you were referring to it as we were talking about, Germany, fascism,
Germany fascism?
Fascism.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
No. That I said that we had been talking about it. And this is how we ended up talking about Germany. And then Germany with Ethiopia.
No, I never spoke about Germany and Ethiopia. I spoke about Italy with Mussolini conquering or invading Ethiopia, and hence Ethiopia was the first victim of World War II. The gentleman was speaking with you was saying that, and it's important that Germany conquering Poland was basically the beginning of World War II.
Yeah.
And I asked you when was that, and you told me the same year that you were born.
Right.
So I missed something that where he asked I didn't hear the question that you asked, or the statement that you made, and then you said that you have to say because you didn't have the time, the 5 minutes to really go through and you gave it.
Yeah.
So I want to hear exactly, if you don't mind, what he said, that you said that you didn't have the time to correct and you just let it go.
Well, again, maybe it's my age, but
No,
what
Mr.
why
No,
recall?
no,
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 I'm just
that,
trying to respond. I'm just trying to respond, as sincerely as I can. And that's one thing, for as long as I've been on the radio, one thing people don't accuse me of, is that I don't play games and I don't just talk for the sake of talking.
and your
And
mind still have the alertness. So don't say your age. Your mind
no,
is strong.
well, I say that what I recall, you know, is that you were talking about Germany.
Who was talking about Germany? The gentleman that you owe me and you were talking about Germany. Which one?
No, the gentleman that was trying to say that the invasion of
Poland
Poland.
by Germany.
Yes,
And most standard book was reported at the beginning of World War II,
yes,
right? And
yes,
I said that Ethiopia invaded by Mussolini
right,
in 1934,
yes,
either 34, 35. I ain't too solid on the year,
right,
but it's
yes,
either 34, 35.
yes. I
That
go
was
along
the
with you there.
beginning. That
Yes,
was the beginning of World War II, and Ethiopia was the first victim.
yeah,
So I'm asking you, with your conversation with the gentleman, you said that, yes,
I did because yes, and the reason why, because aside as a lengthy conversation that I didn't want to get into at the time, because again, we'll have to, from my perspective, talk about the League of Nations and and Selassie attempt to deal with the issue through the League of Nations. And this is why, I draw a line between that and what we would refer to as the start of World War II, which is, again,
have you ever read His Majesty's Secret Release?
yes, yes, yes,
Have you read it?
yes.
Where and we was prophetic on different levels.
Again, I
Tell me,
mean,
and tell me what interpretation we should make of this day. You would probably lift the match or scratch the match in Africa and the flame in Ethiopia and the flame would spread throughout Europe. That was His Majesty's direct warnings and bombings and
yeah,
conscientious or objective historian would basically say it was very prophetic.
yes,
And so I'm seeing certain things before it really manifested.
yeah.
And
They call that prescient.
eh?
They call that being prescient.
Yeah, or you could, there's other adjectives you could, precautionary and stuff like that, you
Yes.
know what I mean?
Well, what they call, but we're getting on the same page now. And I mean, basically, he's saying the same thing that, again, so when did World War II start? And
When,
which is the issue that I was trying to avoid?
what words? I mean, Moses. I have a World War II book, and if I'm not mistaken, it's a white sense of being a neighbor. If I could recall from memory, it basically started with Germany being conquering basically Poland. I think the Hinter, you call it the hinterland, some kind of term that they use to describe those territory of there. And so then you had another part with Japan and Manchuria or stuff like that.
Right.
But those that came after the the violation of Ethiopian thing. And
Yes, indeed.
His Majesty appealed to the League of Nations.
Yes, indeed.
And in those words that he appealed for justice, it basically it's about the whole the beginning and basically what came afterwards. The very cowardice of those that put the name on the satellite of the charter, and they didn't live up to that responsibility, and the appeasement of Chamberlain and all those that basically trying to shun the responsibility of the league and try to appease and curry favor with the mighty German army.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the same thing as the gentleman mentioned, like what the United States by Trump is creating within the family of nations, that because of this might, this economic might, and also military or technological might, that they don't want to stand up to and for the United Nations principles. And I agree with that, because that is the same issue with His Majesty, with other with other members of the League of Nations, because of Germany, and then the Axis forces that combine together. Yeah, but you said you read the picture. I don't have to really go over it.
I mean, many years I have been following these things. I don't know your age, but I mean, again, this is not new to me. Basically, it's not new to me. And again, the topic of who, when, how, World War II is something that, well, I don't think it's convenient. I don't think it's convenient for a 5 or 10 minute talk on a talk show.
As far as Ethiopia and the history of concerned, and others agreed with him that basically in terms of the visionary and Ethiopia being invaded, that was the prelude
Yes.
to World War II.
Okay.
Okay. While you're here, the gentleman, I just want clarity.
Yeah. Well, you definitely gave us clarity
And then
there.
when you get you with the eulogy or your commemorative response to those tragic situation and loss of life, and so we shall continue our discussion of yesterday concerning whether Africans were nomadic or they were just settled. And I think I remember you ascribe to evolution, and if you ascribe to that doctrine, yeah, they even more convincing to me. Man had to be nomadic before he learned certain
And that's where I draw a line there. I said no, because
I was let you get to your
but just let me just say this before we quit it. Because of the ice age, all of Europe, Asia, all the rivers, like we talk about the Euphrates, the Danube, they were frozen. No, slow down. Why wasn't the Nile frozen?
Wait, I want to make sure I heard you said because the Danube and the Euphrates, am I correct in that?
Yes, all of them rivers, yes, no ice.
The Euphrates and the Tigris, as far as I am understanding history, they were never frozen by the ice age. And I don't believe the ice age has dropped to that latitude. I think.
They will check it again.
I have the word the distinguished anthropologists and the scientists in terms of molecular biology who verified the the Afronicity of some of the mommy, what his name is, Chef Antiok, Dr. or Professor Chef Antiok.
Oh, Dr.
I
Diop.
have
Yeah.
one of his scientific books, the last one I think is Barbarian or something to that effect. It is more like using more lexicon that are more technical. So they're difficult books to read because you have to go through dictionary to understand the anatomical term of those bone structures and stuff like that. But we have a diagram illustration with that last ice age, and it doesn't agree down to that latitude. So, but anyway, I would let you continue with
All right.
commemorative remarks and
We look forward to it. Today, yeah, every opportunity I get, I'm trying to
I
promote
that's
the program for Beautiful Aisha that's coming on Sunday,
okay, yes.
because that is something, and I really proud of her that she is able to do this.
And in passing that, I know you will allow me, even though we don't agree. That's one thing. Out of all of the talk shows that I came across, I use the most lenient, the most courteous. I heard Carlos said derogatory but different things to you, and you never did. And I comment. I guess wisdom, your age, and wisdom have
Oh,
grown.
now you're talking about the age.
No,
I just, hey,
because there was a time when I followed you from a long time Mr. Moore, from you start crutch and sales that and you have matured beautifully. I mean, so reading and age that has blended well to create a beautiful person, even though we don't see and certain things, but
we cannot agree on everything. Otherwise, one of us, is not as clever as we should be. We can't possibly agree on everything. No way.
that's true, that's true. But I will get off on your continuation.
You stay strong, stay strong. And I always enjoy talking with you. Yes, beloved. Oh, here we get a call. Good afternoon.
Enter the remote access code.
What? Hello, good afternoon. Oh, boy, I miss that. I don't know when. I am trying to talk about Beautiful Asia and the Make a Move Committee, the 12th annual march and program. And I was, before the last call, trying to point out that Beautiful Aisha experienced this thing firsthand because she lost his son to gun violence. And here we are trying to promote the 12th annual march and program. Our loved ones are alive in our hearts, that she herself has organized. And well, this is why Scott had it, my general, because again, just like she's the one that came up with this idea on Tuesdays, 3:30, we do the Crucian history question thing. Again, that was her idea. And Carla coming in here, there was, Good afternoon.
Yeah, Mario, if I may, I need to say something that I need to ask you a question. I'll be very brief.
It's not a problem. Not a problem. You know, you have to, you have to be brief.
Okay, the caller that called after me, I don't know him, I know of him. the same way he mentioned that he had heard me on air many times. So I have heard him, and he made some good points and all. But maybe he may have misunderstood what I said with regards to Carl Knight's salary. No, because I'll tell you why I say he may have made a mistake or misconstrued me. That he moves to the lower end. I said he went from 250,000 to 500,000. He said if the boss is making minimum wage, the power station should be on. Yes. And to the invoice, I said, and I have it taped, he's not being paid enough. Pay him $1 billion. That means the power should go up down. If you're going to be paid, the more you pay, is it that you should expect less? I don't know. Maybe that's the way it is. Now, in these times, I don't know. The second point, Mario, is that you have mentioned, and I don't think you did it willfully, because you're a historian and you're very close to facts. When, with regards to WAPA always sees its way. No. Because never, and it's not because I walk in an era when it was better. No. Forget me. Take me out of the equation. I know. I don't know what your electricity monthly bill is now. I know what mine was before the Prime administration here. And I know what it was after. There's even a talk show host. She has a big position in government. And she too mentioned, and I don't think she would be lying. Her bills used to be around 250, 300, another 1,200 and up. I mean, anybody, is she lying? Am I lying? I mean, if you would say the same thing, Mario, would you be lying? I mean, I don't know. But that's what I make the point is that we like it so. And I'm coming to the point of liking it so. And this is why I want to ask the question to you, Mario. You, as a person that has been on air for 50 years or more, somewhere around there, have you seen any improvement in governmental services, or is it getting consistently worse?
The latter.
But, so that means that we're paying more money, higher salary, but yet not getting good. But the question then comes, why? Why is this happening? And why are we, the people, like it so? Let me put it in a simple term, that we're not doing anything about it. When I say anything, and this is another question, Mario, a side where people will come out in the hundreds of thousands, and some places millions, for an issue. In the Guatemala, you can't get 10 people to come out. The question being why? Mario?
Yes, I'm here. You want me to answer to it? You want me to respond? Was that a question for me to respond?
I thought I was going to ask you a question.
Oh, okay.
And back home, all your view.
All right. Well, my response is because we are much more symbolic of what we know as to the plantation system during enslavement. Now, if you compared us to what they call an inner city, or some people call it ghetto or something like that, you get a better comparison. But you see, you got to realize we're a small community, but we are overwhelmingly of African descent. So that the dog eat dog, divide and conquer, is much more palpable in this unincorporated territory than you would, getting a macro view of the United States of America.
Mm-hmm.
This is more like this is just more like a plantation, and with the government that we elect are our overseers, and we fight against each other, even to elect our overseers, and sometimes not because they're better than the past overseer, but to spite what might be a neighbor, a relative, something, because this is how we are divided against each other. This is how you colonize people and dominate them. And so we are a perfect example here. And the only reference I could give you in the States is if you look at what they refer to as a ghetto or inner city, which is a community of black people. There is where you see, the violence against each other, where we kill each other. I mean, almost as if it's a sport.
Right.
Well, this is all that I'm saying, and this is all that I'm saying. And so, yes, so all of these things are reflective of it, including things like what should be affordable and reliable electric power.
Right. But good. And you did the right thing. The thing is that,
Well, I'm trying to answer as best I can.
Mario, you always do. Stop selling yourself short. The point I'm trying to make, my brethren, is should this continue as its finite forever, Larry?
Well, right here and right now in this particular program today, it just so happened that I've spoken to people who want to make a difference. And that's how we're going to do to try to make a difference, in the candidates that we try to get in office, whether it's for governor, lieutenant governor, or senator. This is what we're going to try to do.
Okay. Again, Mario, you're correct, but I also said, them and those ones get together to they want to make a difference, and you said try. Because it's no reliability. I mean, you've been doing it for 50 years, trying to get the people to understand. I mean, you're right now really to me hoping that there's someone of others in the wings to take up after you gone. I mean,
That's how we could do it. Like Jesse Jackson says, how we could do it, try to keep hope alive. Because I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up because I have failed.
You're keeping hope alive. You're keeping hope alive.
Right. Despite my failure, I am keeping hope alive.
Good. But Mario, let me close by saying that you went there not knowing that I would have wanted to come there. I, as you are aware, has been a registered ICMer from the time that the women of ICM, and it wasn't Cyril King, as you have rightly said, he came afterwards. His women, your mother, and the rest of them that got this thing started because they saw the need for a change. And they, your mother and them, Cyril King and them, myself, were registered Democrats. But we became defeated and we break away from the foolishness that is now dominant Democrats. That seems to ride roughshod in all three branches of government that we have. And I say we, yes, because I'm a member, one of the group that continue to call on the Fed to come in. Because the court, the local court ain't going to do nothing if the Johnny, the Democrat, like he said, he going to do something if the NIPS, the ICM, you see? They will keep it among themselves. The point I'm trying to make is that kissing goes by favor. I ain't looking to kiss from none of them. I don't think how I feel about them, and they don't say the same thing about me. They just not as public as me. You just, I got tapes that people play for me, the things the governor said about me. you. Remember, I told you one time, more than once, Mario, I said, give up 5,000. You ask me now, continue, and you use the same thing. Let's keep hope alive. But it is very hard and troubling for a few to continue to try to keep hope alive when the majority is running away with the whole hog and eating caviar and set them down the glass. And there are people in the street starving. Look at this thing that the Karen because it's doing. My God, the judge, I don't know. The judge put out the place how she still feeding people when they live in the street. And the government don't see that wrong with that. I see something wrong. I'm sure you do too, Mario. But we're talking about our leaders or misleaders, as you rightly coin them. Don't they see nothing wrong with that? A small island like that, with such a high crime rate. They killed a guy the other day, in Frederickson, I believe it was. They didn't kill him, that was overkill. How much bullets do you need to put in a man's body to kill him? My God, it's this what we have come to. I take that. Mario, I'll continue to listen.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Beloved, this Sunday, April 12th, we'll be experiencing the 12th annual march and program organized by Beautiful Aisha and the Make a Move Committee. It goes under the title, Our Loved Ones Are Alive in Our Hearts. Beloved, I earlier asked if you had been to any of the 12 or the 11, because the 12 have different places. But I was asking if you had been to any of the preceding 11 march and programs. Because if you have, you would realize the emotional impact that violence has on our small community. If you have never been to one, beloved, this 12th annual would be a good start for you. Because from the time you get into Buddha Park, after marching down from the fish market, you will find that the bandstand has been, well, draped in covers as if it was hiding something. And indeed it is. Because Beautiful Aisha has been able to compile photographs of the victims of this horrific violence that has overcome our community. And she has covered the bandstand with these photographs of all of these victims, beloved, over 100. Yeah, over 100. And becomes the time when there's the unveiling, and it's very emotional, bit of it. But again, this is beautiful Aisha's effort to do something about it. Because, yes, she lost a son to gun violence. And beloved, it ain't easy. It ain't easy at all. For whole strain, we take this break and we will be back. Hold on. Good. And yes, every opportunity I get here, try to enter your consciousness and talk a little about this 12th annual march and program scheduled for Sunday. Sunday, April 12th, the street march started at 12 p.m. at the First State Fish Market. Down Strand Street to Borough Park, where the program starts at 1 p.m. But beloved, if you have attended one of the previous 11 that we've experienced, you know what I'm talking about. But beloved, it is a very difficult thing to describe because it's such a gut-wrenching, emotional experience that takes place there, and we have, you know, so many people reliving the loss of their loved ones. That it's, like I said, I lack the words to describe how impactful it is. And it makes me wonder all the more, beloved, because our situation in this territory of less than 90,000 people, imagine that, no, less than 90,000 people. That's doesn't even add up to a neighborhood in one of the major metropolitan areas of the states. I mean, what is 90,000 people when you're talking about cities with millions of people, where you would have a neighborhood that the media would describe as the inner city. Most of the people on the ground describe it as the ghetto. And believe it or not, beloved, many of these inner cities, many of these ghettos are much larger than our tiny unincorporated territory here, less than 90,000 people. And yet, beloved, this experience that beautiful Aisha brings us together for, now for 11 years, this will be the 12th year. This experience demonstrates just how emotionally impactful it is. In such a small community. And yet, beloved, the people that we elect to represent us in a government that we hope, continue to hope, would do something about this horrific violence, but they just ignore it. Just like, beloved, if you come down to Borough Park this Sunday afternoon when the program is unfolding, you would have to ask yourself, well, where are the people we elect to represent us? We've already had 11 of these, beloved, 11 of them. Has a governor ever made mention of me? I didn't ask if a governor has ever been present to one of them. I mean, hey, that's asking too much. But has a governor ever made mention of these emotionally impactful, our loved ones are alive in our hearts, march and program that beautiful Aisha puts on? Has they ever mentioned it? No, because they don't even want to speak about the violence in our community, beloved. And this is the point. If anything, the politicians would wish and hope that there would be no more such activities as this Our Loved Ones Are Alive in Our Hearts program that beautiful Aisha and her Make a Move committee puts on. Politicians don't want any part of this. They wish is for it to go away. Why do we need to continue to condole, empathize, and bear witness to the victims of this horrendous violence that has become an integral part of our community? Beloved, I am truly at a loss for words, as much as I want to speak to it and to get you to want to participate, to come out Sunday and to be a part of this, to make our government conscious that their absence only makes it harder to bear. Beloved, we need you to come out, as you have for 11 consecutive years now. We need you to come out and experience when beautiful Aisha and the Make a Move committee signals the unveiling of all the victims of this horrible but continuing violence. Because, beloved, the entire bandstand is draped with a curtain that hides the dozens and dozens and dozens, more than 100 photographs of victims of violence in this community. And beautiful Aisha has organized it so that when we get down to Budo Park, marching from the First Aid Fish Market, you can't miss how the bandstand is covered. Like, what is this? If you've never been there before, you want to know, well, why is the bandstand so draped and covered? As if you're hiding something. Well, beloved, what Aisha and the Megamoon Committee is hiding is the more than 100 photographs of the victims of violence in this smart community. And yes, there comes a time in the program when they unveil the bandstand to reveal all of these images, these photographs. Overwhelmingly young people, young men, slaughtered. Just shot to death by someone who could have been their friend, could have been their running buddy. And they had a falling out over some nonsensical something that ends up in one of them tragically losing their life. And beloved, it is truly an emotionally impactful scene when these photographs are uncovered and you get to see right in front of you the pictures of these, like I said, mostly young men who were victims of the violence that our politicians, our government, our good for nothing misleaders who all pretend as if it's not happening. But it's, beloved, It's a scene that you can't erase from your consciousness once you experience that unveiling of all those photographs and seeing the people, many, too many, breaking down in tears. And beloved, it's heart-wrenching. And it is, I guess, a tribute to beautiful Aisha and the Mecca Move Committee that they could bring this forward to confront us with it so that we can't escape it. There it is. Yes, look at them. All of these victims of violence right here in our community. And our government continues to pretend it doesn't exist. It doesn't happen. And it's not an issue that they would want to deal with, as they claim to want to serve us as our representatives. As I've experienced, many politicians as they campaign in there tell you that they are committed to serve. They just want the opportunity to serve their community. And yet, beloved, you have this Our Loved Ones Are Alive in Our Hearts program. That is going to be experiencing its 12th edition this Sunday. And yet, beloved, I don't know. It's very difficult for me, and like I said, more than a half a century. Could run my mouth and all kind of subject matter here on this platform of information and enlightenment, but beloved, when it comes to this, our loved ones are alive in our hearts, I fall short. Can't find the words to describe the pain that I witnessed with my own eyes for 11 years now. I will be experiencing for the 12th consecutive years on Sunday. And beloved, well, I dare you to describe what takes place if you've been to any of them. I dare you to describe it, because it's a painful experience, a gut-wrenching experience that Beloved, it defies all common sense. Why, in this small community, can we have so much violence amongst ourselves? And yet we have an elected government. Yes, beloved, an elected government that just ignores it as if it didn't exist. It's not like they attempt to do something about it and fail. No, it is totally ignored. And as I've said too many times, unless a white person is the victim of violence, beloved, it's not an issue. Sadly, tragically, sadly, it is not an issue unless the victim of the violence is a white person. And Lord Harry, the judge, don't let that white person be a tourist. Then it's, well, heaven and hell come to earth, because that simply cannot be tolerated. And a white person being shot, even if it's accidental, simply cannot be tolerated in this community. And yet, beloved, for 11 years now, Sunday will be the 12th year. There comes a time in this, our loved ones are alive in our hearts program. There comes a time to unveil the covered images, photographs of the victims of violence. It's too much, beloved, too much. And you would have to be there to experience how our community experiences trauma when all of these images are unveiled and you see all of these pictures of these young people, like I said, mostly young men, who have died, lost their lives because of violence, gun violence, shot to death. Beloved, I will always have to show my respect to the one I call my general, beautiful Aisha. Because like I said, beloved, she experienced this firsthand. In case you didn't know, yes, beautiful Aisha lost his son to gun violence. Whole stream, beloved. We'll be back with more as soon as I catch myself. Whole stream. Back. Beloved, I have tried my best to stay and things educational. But today it's been a little bit different because of this 12th annual march and program of our loved ones are alive in our hearts. But beloved, it is so indicative of our status as a conquered, enslaved, and colonized people, or these descendants. Yes, this is who we are. Descendants of conquered, enslaved, and colonized people, African people. And we are their descendants. And beloved, up to the last time I sat in for my one and only sister, I was trying to make the point that we don't yet have a cognitive grasp of what mental emancipation is or should be. Because to many of us, we don't even want to talk about our past, especially our past that involves enslavement. Don't want to talk about it, don't want to hear about it. It's like, hey, that's ancient history. We're bringing that out for. And it's as if, beloved, for our situation here in the unincorporated territory of the Virgin Islands of the United States, the way we see it is like on July 3rd, 1848, led by General Boudreaux and Admiral Martin King and his fleet, we gave an ultimatum demanding our emancipation from physical enslavement. And we made history with that ultimatum. Freedom now or else. Beloved, we saw it as being the end of our dreadful history of enslavement. And that will was now behind us. And it's time for us to move on. But beloved, there are many of us who would say, well, what about our mental enslavement? Were we not enslaved mentally, cognitively. Well, to a majority of us, that is a waste of time. If we want to submit to mental enslavement and think we have to have mental emancipation so that we can truly be free, are you wasting your time? Just looking for an excuse to keep talking about the horrors of slavery and what we need to do to avenge ourselves from that slavery. Any variation of stories, narratives like that can be heard at any given time in any place where Black people are gathered. Because the overwhelming sentiment is that we don't want to relive what we call the experience of enslavement. Now, mind you, we ourselves were never physically enslaved. Those are our ancestors. We are the descendants of enslaved Africans, but we ourselves were never physically enslaved. And this is the issue. Time and time again, we butt heads with one another as to why we have to keep talking about the slavery thing. And now that we emancipate ourselves from slavery back in 1848, nearly 200 years ago, and you still want to bring it up. And this is the prevailing attitude that you find amongst Sawa people. And when you try to point to the many issues that are so prevalent in our community, you find that people say, hey, you're going to attribute that to enslavement too? So whatever problem we have now, that's because of slavery too? And there's always the rebuttal that why you keep bringing up the slavery thing? Hold straight, brother, hold straight. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Mario.
Welcome.
How are you doing?
One day at a time, we're trying our best with it. How are you?
I'm doing okay, but I have something to say.
if you find out how to live 2 days at a time, you need to publicize that so we can capitalize on it too.
I would be very anxious to hear about that one day, especially at my age. I would love to.
No. At your age, you don't want to do the 2 days at a time. You might go home quicker. You might go home quicker than you want to.
Oh, okay.
So leave that for us young ones so we can catch up with you.
All right, will do.
How does that
Sound better?
All right. I hear listening to you.
Mm.
All right. We have gotten away from slavery. You say we said give us a liberty at death and get away. They let us loose. Question I have for you. All that you're talking about, the killings and things like that.
Yeah.
What solution you have? I'm listening.
All right. Well, I have been, particularly the Wednesdays, must be 5 or 6 of them now, that I've been sitting in here for my one and only sister. And she being a lifelong educator, retired educator, now a member of the board of education. I try to keep it with education. And I have tried to use that to show that we need to realize that we never have had the opportunity to get educated about the effects of enslavement. And so that while we have never been enslaved ourselves, as descendants, we inherited the consciousness that our parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, all of them, going back to slavery, inherited and lived with, because as I pointed out, we as Africans, we don't have any values of our own. We don't have any.
We don't have the values of our own. What kind of values you're looking for us to have?
I am looking for the values that all peoples have. Wherever you find them, you have people have their own values, their own principles, their own beliefs, their own way of life. Whereas we do not have that. All we do now is.
I'm trying to find.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm trying to find out for you to tell me what values you're talking about and where would we get those from.
All right. Now, to give it to you in one quick response, I would be saying that before we were conquered as a people, before we were enslaved as a people, before we were colonized as a people, we had values of our own. Like, for instance, survival of the fittest. That is a value that we have inherited from them and those who actually conquered, enslaved, and continue to colonize us. And if we attempt to be self-sustaining and independent, we used to be, when I was younger, we'd be called communists for that. Nowadays, we call a terrorist. It is un-American, which is what we are supposed to be doing, embracing Americanism. And basically, that is what I'm responding to you to say, is that we are now doing our best to embrace American values, American principles, American beliefs. And the best example I could give you is we've had a Black president, and he could demonstrate with his 8 years that he could be as white and as European, as an American, as anyone. And he did that, and I said successfully. But he didn't do anything for us regaining our identity as an African people.
So, hold it there. What was you looking for him to do? That's what I'm trying to figure out. You're telling me these things. I'm trying to give me the hands-on thing. What did you want him to do? What were you looking forward for him to do?
For him to give us back our identity as an African people.
But you keep on telling me an African people identity,
Yeah.
white man. I'm trying to understand. Tell me.
Well,
What
all right.
What you see the African identity to be?
Well, I am hesitant because
No,
I
don't
would.
be hesitant. When you're talking with me, I want facts and I want knowledge. So let's go.
Okay.
Give it to me.
All right.
If you have to give it me with the broad side of the back, give it to me.
All right. In the 7th century before this current era,
Mhm.
they would say the 7th century BC is how the media would usually put it. 7th century BC. That is when the African people were conquered. That was when a man named Ashurbanipal led Babylonians. And when after him came Cambyses the Persian, they actually destroyed all the books of what we call Thoth. A man that to this day actually was the author of 36,000 books that describe our way of life. And then an Egyptian priest today, his name is Manetho, Manetho, will tell you that our civilization, which lasted for 10,000 years, started in the year 17,000 BC. So you say, give it to you, I'm giving it to you. Are you familiar with these things?
No, but I'm trying to. You're telling me about the way of life.
Yes.
You're telling me about these people writing books, but you still ain't telling. Okay. Look,
What you want to hear?
Wait. We have the young people killing one another.
Yeah.
That's right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And most of the time is a black and black crime.
Yes.
Okay. Let's say they're saying that slavery caused that. Okay. If slavery caused that, and we don't know how to slavery work, how do we rectify it? That's what I'm trying to find out. How do a mother safeguard her son? Or how do we safeguard our children from this kind of a lifestyle? That's what I'm trying to find out.
Well, and I'm answering you by telling you how, but we do not have the leaders that would give us the education so we do understand this and have an identity, have a pride in ourselves. Look at us right here.
Is it possible for you to say what you have to say to whoever is listening, that they can implement these things in their homes so they don't have to be crying because of a loved one again?
Well, the things that I just tell you in terms of, like, I said Thoth. In African, we said Jehuti. Jehuti is the one responsible for even measuring time, for reading and writing, all of these things that different peoples learn after the African civilization that lasted for 10,000 years. Now then, if we would not teach this to our children, how our children is going to ever have the belief in themselves, know who they are, who they come from, and why it is important that they learn to appreciate their identity as descendants of Africa.
Hold on, Mario, hold on.
But that's just it. Africa is a dirty word.
Hold on. I was raised with a grandmother.
Yeah,
My mother went out to try and better themselves.
yeah,
She tell me I don't want to steal nobody and stuff.
right,
I don't want you lying to me.
right,
I don't want you to bring no problems into the house.
right.
I I want you to go up there and make the best decisions.
Right.
I want you to go up there and make something of yourself.
Right.
I want you to make me proud.
Right.
Those are the things she's drilling me with now.
Yeah.
She might not have been able to read like the scholar.
Yes.
And she's telling me, I don't want no jail, but inside here, so listen,
Right.
don't do the things to carry you to jail.
Yes. And I admire her for that.
And what I'm trying to show you,
Yes.
she didn't have all these things about she coming off of slavery.
Yes.
But she's not even telling me to go fight the slave man. She's telling me to get an education.
Right.
So I can make something of myself.
Right.
We talk about the white man education.
Yes.
All right. It is the white man education because it's teaching me to read.
Yes.
But as long as it teaches me to read, I can pick up any other book and further my studies. But if the kids are coming out of school can't read, what book are they going to pick up to further themselves?
Right.
So the whole thing about it, when we talk about they're teaching us here and they're not teaching us our way, and we now take our children, send them stateside to participate in them same college.
That's right.
So the whole thing about it is either we saying we have to be crazy, or are we going to get with the program, learn the program, so we can implement the program.
There you
I
are.
was watching the TV yesterday. They were talking about education in the state of Alaska, all these different places.
Yeah.
Education system, terrible.
Yes.
And they asked the man, asked the guy, I just coming in and getting, so could you really stop and get this because we're getting the tail end.
Yeah.
What do you do to fix this? He said they have gone away from the phonics-based system, and he called some kind of system for the life of me. I can't remember it.
Yeah.
He said if you don't go back to the phonics system and drill them, you're going to have this failure.
Yeah.
The school by Five Corners teach phonics. They learn to read all by when they kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
And here is it, we talking about we have 12 graders can't read.
That's right.
The question is this here. What do we do for our parents if they can't get it in the schools that they can get it to help their own children? Right now, we have an electronic system. You go on it and type in anything.
Mm-hmm.
This morning I type in and the guy showing you how Spanish and how this and how that.
Yeah.
So even if you're not getting it from the school, you don't want to say the school is just falling short, because if the school falling short, is your child falling short. My whole thing about things, if things ain't working good, how do we fix it?
Yeah.
If we keep on talking about slavery and then beat up my granny and I get half of it, what can I do to benefit from that so I can make granny proud? Granny now dead and gone,
Yeah.
But I need to do something for my society, for my child, for the children. I used to tell when my daughter was small, I said, look, bring your friends over. Bring your friends over.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole thing I want to eat, at least put something good inside of them.
Good.
The same thing I want for you, that you are going to be excellent, is the same thing I want for them. I don't want it for myself alone. Look, we have a system. When the governor gets in, he sends his child to private school. Public school, When the senator gets in, he sends his children to private school. Is the private school different than the public school? Are they teaching two different things? Why would you pay money for something that you can get for free? But every time they get in and get in a position, their children don't go to the public school. As long as they can do better, they send their children to the private school. What's the reason for that then?
Well, it is a goal, the object that you are trying to get to, that I am trying to get you to clearly see that what you're doing is trying to imitate the people that conquered, enslaved, and continue to colonize you. And that slow down now, before you have to
No, I'm waiting.
go do. All right. Have you ever heard about the Great Pyramids, for instance?
We hear about them and we see them.
You are all right, good. No. To this day, white man can't tell you how it was built. And I would like to tell you that people from out of space, come build it, and then they left and they gone again. But yet, you know, I could show you books that you could read to understand where it is people who are your ancestors that built that. And it's people who are your ancestors that came up with reading and writing, the very sciences, the geometry that learned to control the overflow of the Nile River. You see, but that's just it. But now, wait, I almost finished. Almost finished. Right now, and that's why I don't have television. I just get my news later. But I know that America is fighting a place called Iran because they don't want to be like America. And they tell us all kind of lies because I don't read. And I know all the lies they just tell us about Iran because I don't read. You know, and all it is that if you can't be like America, you are bad. You used to be a communist. No, you're a terrorist. They don't use communists anymore. They're terrorists now. You are terrorists. And yet, we are so confined, so narrow-minded, that we can't see that is the same system that actually conquered our people, enslaved our people, continued to colonize our people. This is who we want to imitate. And this is who we want to be.
Wait.
I'm waiting.
I'm talking about reading.
Yeah.
It is the same system we're in.
Yes.
That we are reading the book.
You read it. You reading the books for that system.
Wait for me.
Okay, I'm waiting.
You write the book. If I can't read the book, the information inside there is of no use to me. So they have a system in place that I know if I get it down and take your book and get the other side of the story. So you know what they do? They verbalize it. They put it on things where you can play it and hear it. And you say they control the news. But if I don't have the tool to read the 100 books that you write, what good is the book on my shelf? What I am saying, we're coming out of schools and our children not reading. Then we take them and send them off to the college. We send them off to be doctors and lawyers. It is the same system that they had to embrace. Now it gives you a chance to bring more information into the conversation. But if you don't have the tool to read and disseminate information that people can understand, what goodness it is. We are saying about the colonial. Fine, we're in a colonial system. You have a passport now, yeah?
A passport? What do you mean?
A passport. You have a passport.
No, I don't have a passport.
So when you want to travel, where are you?
Well, I have not traveled outside of America.
When you went up to the doctor and they fixed up the heart and so on, what did it use?
My driver's license?
And what it say? You say a United States driver's license?
Yes.
And anytime we in this country here, so everything we have is going to say United States.
Yes.
And if we don't want to have the United States, we might go and locate someplace else. But for you to travel, right now when you go and travel, Mario, you stand up in front of camera.
Yeah.
They take your picture.
Yeah.
And they're telling you who you be.
Yeah.
Face recognition. Face recognition.
Right.
So it means the system is going forward.
Yeah.
Our children is living and working in this system. We have our children killing one another.
Yeah.
I would want my child to can read, be excellent, and be the millionaire.
Right.
If they can't read, they don't get a shot half a foot.
Right.
So as long as they can read, some of them have so much potential. If you teach them the stock market, they control it. But what ends up happening? We keep on slowing them down. I don't want to slow you down. If the obstacle is too high, go around and eat it. If it's too broad, fly over it, but find some means to get over and don't let it stop you.
Well, I wish you were the governor of the Virgin Islands because then we would have our children studying the history.
But since I'm not the governor, Mario, we're going to force them to study the history. You see, I am not looking at nothing to stop me. If the engine giving trouble, go and talk to the mechanic and say, mechanic, I can put your engine on my piece by piece.
Well, we are on the same page because look at me, and you call me as good at my older age, but I don't give up, and I am still fighting for us to be able to teach our children the history.
We have to give them the tool, Mario. We have to give them tools.
Well,
Some of the children are so ignorant that somebody look at them and they don't want to fight.
Well, this is just it. So why then can't we have a government that see that as you just said? You just said it and explained it to me. How come we can have a government that see that?
Listen, why I tell you there, Mario.
I listen.
If the governor is not doing it,
Yes.
your child don't matter to him, you know. His child matter to him.
Yes.
So he is going to look out for his child, so he carry his child to private school.
Yes.
Your child matter to you.
Yes.
And whatever is lacking, you know something, I'm going to be there for you.
Yes.
You know how I see we're supposed to deal with our children? We in one hole. Stand up on my shoulder. Hold on and climb out.
Yeah.
I know you don't have the strength to pull me out, you know, but go and find some kind of a twine, some kind of a rope. See if you can tighten a tree.
But again, I know I'm interfering with your thought now, but that's the very point that you're missing it, is that we keep trying. This court, we've been in court trying to get them to teach our children the history.
What you're missing right there, Mario, you have to do tell me about the colonial system.
No, I talk about the colonial history. No.
No, wait. Listen to where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
Listen to where I'm going with it.
Yes, I
You go to
listen.
the same system.
Yeah.
You win the case.
We did not win the case.
Okay, so you go in and they say they're not doing it?
You hear what I'm telling you? We did not win the case.
Well, I guess what happened in your own black people don't want you to know about yourself.
Ah.
So listen to what I say now. Even if my own black people don't want to say myself,
Yeah.
I'm not giving up, you know.
Well, that's me. You're describing me. Well, that's me. That's why I ain't give up.
But the question is this here, at the end of the day, what do we want to accomplish?
We want the truth and justice. That's our truth.
Listen to me. I say this one thing and I think I take it up to
Me chasing you because the conversation that we're having is helping many in my beloved audience with the same issues that they've been fighting with.
Okay.
So that, I mean, this very conversation between the two of us is enlightening to many in our audience.
Okay. I thought I was saying that too long. That's why I read it. Okay, let me share something. I went today to get a brake line from a truck. The woman tell me they don't have none for my truck. She said it's going to take a week for it to come. I said, show me the brake line for the other truck. She showed me the brake line for the other truck. She said, but this is not going to fail. So to fit. I said, well, tell it to me. She said, but I'm telling you, it's not going to fit. I said, but I'm telling you to sell it to me. You know what I did?
No.
I went across by the welder. The other welder over there, so he does deal with cars and so.
Yeah.
I said, I want you to take off this end here, put this end on this one here, grind it on. And
Yeah.
that's still on my truck up today and today.
But there you are.
So here is some people give up. I am not the giving up person.
Well, neither am I. But you want me to give up. You want me to give up.
But my thing is, I can't wait for a week. So let me find some kind of solution. So I just don't want to not give up. I want to find a solution.
Well,
If our children are killing one another,
yes.
and when you get it done, we have to find some way to And this has nothing to do with the education. This has all to do with listen, controlling yourself. So what good is it? Your son hit my son. I kill your son. You come across kill my son and everybody they crying. That's
Well,
foolish people there for the fight.
well, you are fighting me down because I am trying to tell you that yes, education, truth and justice education will change them same children that you're talking about that killing each other every day now right here. And I have been fighting this from the days when they called me communist and locked me up in jail. Now they want to call me a terrorist. Again, because I don't agree with, but here's the point now. Here's the point. I take my time and I write it. Maybe it might be my great, 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 great grandchild that might see this and say, you know, my great, 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 great grandfather was making sense. Look, I just read this, but you refuse to read it. So I read it now. Slow down, slow down.
Go ahead.
I've been through the system that right where the should. We've been to court. We've been all the way to the Supreme Court here and back, and they still will not implement the law that Bob Bryan successfully get passed back in 1983. How do you answer to that? How do you answer to that?
Is it a law?
Yes, it's a law. 48 for Act 48, 44. Yes,
And
it is codified.
You're trying to tell me the court said that the law is invalid?
No, the court did not say that. The court says that we have not proven that the government did not implement the law.
So the court is saying that the government did implement the law?
You hear what I'm telling you?
So look at it this way here. The people who have jurisdiction saying that they did implement it. And you were saying that they did not. So you carry them to court and they come back and tell you they did implement it.
And we've been all the way to the Supreme Court back now, and it looks like we want to go back to the Supreme Court again. And I'm saying since 1983, we can't get this implemented. And all we're talking about is truth and justice. History, not somebody's story.
But Mario, when people don't want to do certain things, they find all kind of ways not to do it.
But this is what you're doing to me.
No, not doing that. Listen to me, Mario. But listen to me, Mario.
Yeah.
They have a young lady who said when my daughter was small come to the house.
Yeah.
And the same principles I have for mine, the same principle I have for yours.
Very good. Please, I hear them.
You know what she a couple of times she said, you know, every time I come to your house, I learn something. Because I'm not going to see you do it and don't correct.
Right.
And my daughter was growing up, she said, Daddy, what are you doing this year? I said, what do you think? If she tell me the wrong thing, I explain to her.
Yes.
So she know we have this program now, and as long as you come and ask me what I'm doing, you have to answer a question. What you think? You know why I was doing that to her, man? Are you?
I have no idea.
From kindergarten to first grade, to sixth grade, they spoon feed you.
Yeah.
From seventh grade and onward, they give you a book, tell you read and comprehend, and what you think. So if she have the thinking process down pack, she have a handle on things. So I was not going to make no excuse. When things didn't go wrong, and she didn't get the grade she wanted, I didn't go and tell her, if them people, I said, listen to me. Next time, don't run in the pack. So one time she have this thing where valedictorian and thing. So listen to me. They have something you call horse race. If all the horses run in a group, robbery can take place. So I don't want you to run in the group. I want you to run ahead. Let them say they know who wins. and figure out the runners in the pack. Sometimes we make excuses. I'm not saying the system don't have bad things in it. But my question is, what am I going to do to fix it? And I don't want to fix it for mine alone. I want to fix it for everybody.
That's
But
not
you know
the truth.
something?
That's not
You know
the truth. You don't want to fix it for everybody. Because you don't want to fix it for me.
Mario, listen to me.
I listen.
You're telling me about slavery.
No.
Just hear me, man. Hear me before you answer me. You say about slavery, and slavery has an effect on us, and mental slavery, and we're still in mental slavery. I told myself, right is right, wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
And mental slavery, I refuse to walk with. So when you come by me,
Yes.
I say, Mario, what is going to be? Is one or two. You don't know. And if you know, then, and I say you're wrong, this is the reason why you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm saying this in Magani. Remember when they had
No. You ain't gonna do that today. You doing the American thing to me.
I'm not running away.
You doing the American thing to me.
I'm not
Listen.
running away.
Yes, you are. Well, then tell me why you don't want to know who built the pyramids. Tell me why that.
Mario, I never said don't want to know who built the
Yes,
pyramid.
you did.
I never said that, Mario.
Well, you're saying it right now.
I never said don't want to know who built the pyramid.
You did. Well,
What
tell.
I told you.
Yes.
You write books, and I can't read, regardless of what you have inside of it. I can't take it out. At no time, you tell me you can show me books that say who built the pyramid. But ask yourself this question: the same way you say that is their story, and people gonna say that is your story. That is how you see it. So it comes down to me believing.
There you go. Because you want to believe their way. And you don't even want to know if you have a way that you ain't familiar with yet.
Mario. I am telling you about learning. Didn't I tell you if we learn to read, whatever book is there, I can go and find it and read it?
Yeah.
You tell me you have information about books that are there
Yes.
as to how the pyramids are built.
Yes.
As long as you put pushing some things in this internet business, bam, information fly up, then more information that they can comprehend. So since you tell me that, you know what my first policy is? As long as you tell me things, I will just go and put it in and sign it, you know.
Oh, I see.
But the whole thing about it, you saying I don't want to know, that's a wrong thing.
Well, yes, that's what I'm saying because I'm saying it. But if they say it, you buy it.
No, listen to what I'm trying to tell you. You're telling me I have a means of searching for it. So the whole thing, the fact that you tell me that now, I can go and search for it. As long as the information titillates me, I don't have to look for it. Just the other day, I see the coconut sugar. I said, oh, how you make coconut sugar? I went online to find out, and they show it. So we have a tool that I can use. So don't take because I didn't go and say I want it. I don't know I can get it. So I had done plan to go and pull it up and see what you're saying.
You really have a lot of faith in what you don't know, Mr. Because again, like I said earlier, you know, do you think that you could go to whatever thing you just go to in the computer? Because I ain't into that. And you could tell me then why it is that America hates the Iranian people?
If I can tell you why they hate them?
Yes, if you could find that out in your...
I don't think the Americans hate the Iranian people. I think Trump doing craziness. But look at how much people protesting against what he's doing.
Well, wait a minute. How many people protested against Korea? That you now have a North and South Korea?
But we have the president doing it. Hold on, we have the president doing it. Go in our home, and the Congress can afford to stop him, and they don't stop him.
But you changed the subject. I said, you said you have ways of finding out things. And I said, oh, yes, you don't think you're under their control. You will never be able to use whatever you use in a computer to find out why Americans hate the Iranians.
So how do you find it out?
Because I am going to find it out from
How do you find it out? That's what I'm trying to find out.
by reading.
So you had to be reading something. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, reading things that
Wait,
yeah.
See this phone you have in your hand? If you plug in news, you get BBC News, you get American News, you get Iran News, you can't understand what it's talking. So if you plug in news, you can get all kind of news. So it don't have to be the American.
So how come you don't know who built the pyramids then? If you could plug in like that.
Mario, I saw the pyramids there. I said they were built. They said the African building. I said to myself, question I used to ask, how did they get to lift up a stone 500 times?
Well, how?
That's the question I just asked, you know.
Yes.
How did they lift up a stone?
How? Yes.
500 tons.
Yes.
I ain't getting no good reasoning behind that. As to how.
And you leave it alone. And you leave it alone and move on.
I left it alone for this reason. It is there. I know it is there. How they did it, I didn't grumble about it.
There you go. Well, there you go.
I know it's there. But other things that matter to me, what I'm trying to tell you, people are going to look at things that matter to them the most.
Well,
I would want to think my child reading is the number one thing that matters to me. And the fact that you're telling me, you guys have been trying to get it, for them to do it, they're not doing it. The question is this.
But you would not want your child to read what I have written.
Mario,
I have written more than 12 books.
Yes, you are putting things in my mouth I would not want. How you only know what I would want.
Because how you just said that. You just said so.
As a person can read, even if they read your book,
yeah,
and they don't agree with it, it's a choice then. You read the Bible and you don't agree with it.
Yes.
I read the Bible and I agree with it.
Yes.
So if you notice, the two of us read the same book. You didn't agree and I agree.
You can, because you going by belief, I going by science.
It comes down to choices. You don't believe it's correct.
Here that now it comes out to choices. That's what you call it, a choice. Okay.
It comes down to a choice.
So it was a choice. It was a choice that we made to be conquered. We chose to be conquered. That's what you're saying. We chose to be conquered.
I chose to be conquered.
No, you say that we as a people, we chose to be conquered.
Mario, I'm an independent thinker.
Yeah.
You know, I used to think, they say it's supposed to pay reference to the slave owner. I ask this question: how he become slave owner? Because he grabbed him and enslaved him. So if he's teaching me that,
yeah,
I need to grab him now and enslave him, and let him practice what he's preaching.
Well, why you don't do that? Why you don't do that to him?
I tell you, I'm a man of solution. You know?
Yeah.
If I don't like to be enslaved, and you think I'm supposed to be liking being enslaved, it's time for me to grab you and enslave you.
Right.
And now you need to practice what you're preaching. So Mario, don't just pin me in a bracket.
I ain't pinning you in a bracket. You pin yourself. You say you read the Bible and you believe it.
I believe the Bible.
There you go. So it's belief. It's not knowledge. It's belief.
I hear what you say. You don't believe the Bible is correct.
It's not belief. It's knowledge. I go by knowledge. You go by belief.
Mario.
I go by what things that I could prove.
Mario, you may say the Bible is incorrect. The Bible have prophesied so many things that have come to pass. Is that guesswork?
Listen.
What a question.
No. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, because there are more things in there that did not come to pass. You choosing what come to pass.
But listen, how much things in there didn't come to pass?
Most of it.
Which is most of it?
Tell me which person died and come back.
Jesus Christ died and come back.
Because you believe it. That's not knowledge. That's belief.
You ask me and they tell you who come. Listen to me.
That's belief. It's not knowledge. It's belief. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
But Mario, 500 people witness it.
You believe that.
But Mario, 500 people witness it just like you want to.
You believe that.
Listen to me.
You believe that.
Wait. You're saying your grandfather witnessed this and witnessed this. You never witnessed it, so you have to believe what your grandfather said.
No. If I can't prove it,
Mario,
it's not matter who tell me, who tell me.
Mario,
If I can't prove it.
Mario, you said your grandfather said it, and you said that, and he tell you this and he tell you that.
Yes.
He tell you those things.
Yes.
You did not witness them.
Yes.
It means you have to believe what your grandfather said.
No. I have to check to see what my grandfather said to see if it's knowledge.
Some of the things you can't check, so you don't go from what your grandfather said. Because you trust your grandfather.
All right. Okay.
Mario.
All right. Now I got calls now.
That's all good. I listen.
You know, but again, you mustn't believe, man. You must try to know, not just believe.
Mario, I'm not going to give up a belief in the scripture. Okay?
Well, that's what you're saying. You're not going to give up, believe it.
You know what the scripture tells me to do? Is to treat you like I want to be treated.
Okay.
To know about that.
Go ahead and live by belief. Go ahead and live by belief, man.
Some of them, I don't live it.
Yeah, go ahead and live by belief.
All right, sir, and you're going to live whatever you believe.
No, I say what I believe. It's what I know.
Listen to me. Whatever you know that is guiding you, that is what you're going to live by.
Okay.
All right? So, I'm stepping out now, and I will come back in maybe another day.
I look forward to it.
Okay.
Love talking with you.
Have a good day.
Love talking with you. Good thing.
All right.
All right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I wonder.
Thank you for your patience. Welcome.
Right. I wonder if Jesus came back and told the last caller that what he read in the Bible wasn't accurate. What would he do?
He would
still believe the Bible?
obviously.
What the Bible is written about?
Obviously. I mean, he goes by belief. You know, and if enough people believe it, it's got to be right.
Yeah. You got to look at what's in front of you too, and measure it to what you've been told. Like what you, I guess, were trying to tell them about your grandfather. That your grandfather tells you stuff, but that you don't just absolutely believe it. You compare it to facts.
Absolutely.
And check with.
Absolutely.
But then if you see, okay, yeah, these facts are aligning with what my grandfather said, so you believe the rest is the whole story of what your grandfather told you.
Absolutely.
But if you start seeing that you're not measuring up, then you got to dump what your grandfather gave you, because you see the realities of life are not measuring up.
But he can't see it. But he can't see it that way, my friend, because he's already believed enough to know his path.
Right.
And so who is
saying the stuff that's pointed? He says, okay, the pyramids.
Yep.
He knows that they're built because they exist.
Yeah.
He knows. He may not know how they got the stones up there.
Yeah.
But he knows that they did because they're up there.
Yeah.
You know how else? Yes, we may not have the details as to how they did it, but it's there. We know they did it, and we know those stones didn't just accidentally fall into those places. How many ever different times in different locations? We know it had to be people doing it. This was a deliberate thing. So yes, we may not know. And again, he can't find how they were done on the internet. And the internet is not all powerful. There are things that I have looked up on the internet maybe 5-10 years ago. And then I go back now and I can't find it. I punch in the same words that I punched in to search and found them before, but now I can't find them. Why? Because the internet consists of many different people's computer systems that have this information on them. If those people decide to turn off those systems or take information off of those systems, you're not going to find it anymore.
Well, I hope he's listening all now. I hope he's listening all now.
So yes, not everything you speak about I can type in and find it on the internet because somebody did not decide to put it on there again.
Right.
And then sometimes I wait a year or a month or a year later, I type it in and boom, there it is.
Yeah.
So somebody finally decided to put it on a computer system that is connected to the internet that I can search and find it. So it depends. The internet depends on what people have decided is important enough to have on their computer system, their data system, that I'm now able to search and find.
Right.
So there are things that exist and are truthful, but are just not found on the internet.
Right.
But what I called about education.
Yeah.
And I think you probably haven't heard about this yet, because as you said, you're not into the internet and all that kind of stuff, so you get news late. Well, I think it was the day before they arrested two young men for robbing a 16-year-old on the beach, I guess near Rainbow Beach or somewhere around it.
Mm.
One of them turned out to be a community resource officer, which I don't know what that is. A community service officer. I have no idea what that is. But anyway, apparently it's a young man. All of the two people that arrested, they strike me as being in their very early 20s.
Right.
The 16-year-old said he went to school with them. So that means that they couldn't be much older than 20.
Right.
But these guys, you're like, how in the world did they? I don't know if they graduated from one of our public schools or not. But even get into high school, you're like, how? How could they? Because these guys were the dumbest people out. The guy works as a community service officer with the BIPD. He now is going to rob the 16-year-old of his chain.
Yeah.
The two of them are approaching the 16-year-old.
Yeah.
They have masks, and they don't put it on until after they get close enough that the 16-year-old recognizes them from school. So you're going about somebody you've been to school with, and you have a mask to put on, but you're gonna wait until you get to the distance where he can identify you.
Yeah.
And he said he realized and that they were bad boys and did what they wanted in school.
Right.
And so now they robbed him. One of them was it seemed like they had his cell phone. They left it in a car. One of them was in the car, community service guy. When the police was coming to the car with his mother, because they got in touch, the guy identified them. They got in touch with the mother. The mother tracked his phone to the car, and so they went to the car. And in the car, they saw two phones lying there. Apparently, one of them was this guy's own, but he wasn't there. They searched in the area and searched the bushes nearby, and found him in there wearing a ski mask. And so she said he heard the voices and stuff, and so he didn't know what was going on. So he went and hid. And then he says, why he was wearing a ski mask?
Yeah.
To protect himself from the sun.
Yeah.
This is a black person.
It speaks to the proficiency of our school system. We know how to educate them. We certainly know how to educate them.
We in trouble. We in trouble.
Yep.
If this is the people who are able to go pass from grade to grade in our school system,
Yeah.
being this dumb,
Yep.
our school system is failing.
Yep.
And we are in trouble because we're graduating people who are going to be useless to our community.
Thank you.
What kind of job this guy could have?
You tell me, mister. You tell me. But we're at the top of the hour. I got to do a break, and we come back for our last lap.
All right. I'll let somebody else get a chance.
Good thing. Good thing. I want to take the last lap. Are we going to have a top of the hour break? Or just not? All right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for your call. Welcome.
Thank you. That was a very enlightening conversation you had about beliefs,
Yeah.
which, well, some people who have
You know.
claim to have
Could I
spiritual
have you hold on for a second? Could you hold on?
Yes,
So
but
let me, yes, because I have to take a break. But just
Okay.
hold on, we'll come right back to you. Hold your thought, hold your thought.
okay.
We're back. And where's the call? Are you there? Hello? Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
All right, good afternoon. Thank you for your patience. Is that wind blowing?
Oh, yes. The wind is blowing.
Okay.
I'm driving.
Okay, okay, I understand.
Okay. I was saying there's a difference between belief and fact. And also there's a distinction between truth and fact. proven or has been proven
Yeah.
is what is known as a fact. But people have what is, I would call, spiritual knowledge. You cannot prove the existence of God. You cannot prove the existence of Jesus Christ. I don't consider the Bible a historical account of what has occurred. It's an explanation. So I look at it as all that spiritual knowledge that some people have. They have it, but you can't impose it on others. That's what you want to believe in. That's your choice. You have freedom of to practice whatever religion you want according to the First Amendment. And I look at it, you have spiritual knowledge, you have scientific knowledge, but not all scientific knowledge is fact, however.
All right.
You have a lot of theories. Theories are based on an explanation for why something has occurred based on the evidence. I mean, there's strong evidence that dinosaurs once lived here. We see the fossils.
Yeah.
But you can't prove exactly what caused the extinction. You can't prove when the extinction occurred. You can't prove when the earth was formed. What we could see, we could observe some of the scientific things happening in front of us, with like evolution, but that's a theory. And what we have in front of us, what we dealing with for the most part is this artificial world that we live in. We didn't create the moon, the stars. Those things were here. When we entered this world, they were here.
Yeah.
But we could make observations and say for certain there is a God. The established religion, the three of them, monotheistic religions, Judaism is the oldest, then came Christianity, and then Islam. I believe those religions were established as a form of controlling people. If people suppress, if you have that strong belief, you're going to behave accordingly. But we see where there's so much contradiction to the Bible. In some parts, they tell you what? Obey your earthly master. And it appears that slavery was endorsed. Human trafficking, incest, fornication. Because how you going to send a message to people to have one marriage with one person and produce children as a result of a marriage when, according to the story, a ghost impregnated a virgin. All right? That's belief. You can. I mean, we know, anybody said today, they don't know how they became pregnant, it was by a spirit. You're going to say you're crazy. But that's how those people approach life. Their explanation for how things happen. They look at comets and they find some kind of symbol in that, some religious symbol.
Right.
But today, we have all kinds of different religions. We gotta respect each other. This place is called the unincorporated territory of the Virgin Islands, the United States. Religion, the most prominent religion here is Christianity, which is just amazing to me because it's Christopher Columbus came to the New World, he brought the Bible, and look at what happened. And the indoctrination continues of the African diaspora. Why we so believe in this Jesus Christ, and that's in an image I even look nothing like that. A European with blue eyes and blonde hair, and we worship that image. But I respect people's beliefs. If that's what you
our belief, fine, but don't impose it on others, and don't be surprised when others don't share the same path.
Well,
But-
unfortunately, people with those beliefs also have children.
Well, religion, in my opinion, is one of the oldest form of politics. All right? We have an election coming up. All you could do at this point is try to impart as much knowledge as possible. All I can do is just tell people about the process and encourage them to vote. But this is what we have as representative democracy. The senators, the governors don't put themselves in office. But we could do something to empower ourselves. Knowledge is power. And if we had a constitution, we the people, the electorate, can make changes. We can put laws in place. But we don't. I don't know how I can convince people the importance of us having our constitution, and it would be a step on the path of self-determination, getting more autonomy. But in the meanwhile, I commend you for doing your part to educate, enlighten, and inspire minds. So, time is of the essence, so thank you. Let me ask a question.
Just remember that, so I don't forget, Hampshire Ice Cream opens on Saturday.
Okay, that's what I want to ask you. How much time I have to pick up?
Well, because of what happened, you will have extra time. You will have extra time. So whenever you get to it, but they will be open as of Saturday.
Okay, good. I'm looking forward to my link.
Lick your cream.
My cream.
Yes,
Link
indeed.
of the cream. Thanks. Have a blessed afternoon.
You're very welcome. And beloved, let me, before we leave, tell you again that beautiful Aisha and the Make a Move Committee is presenting the 12th annual March and program. Our loved ones are alive in our hearts. Sunday, April 12th, 2026, with a street march that starts at 12 p.m. from the Frederickson Fish Market down Strand Street to Buddha Park, where the program starts at 1 p.m. MC, Brother Reinhold Rookie Jackson, clamshell blowing, drumming by the Rising Daughters of Zion, poetry by Celeste Foy, and tributes to loved ones by loved ones. Performance by the artists Ras Bach and Empress Ima. The opening prayer by Charlotte, Empress Charlotte. Guest speakers, Sister Tassia Felix and Mario Moorhead. Let's help reduce the level of crime, stop the violence and ignorance. Beautiful Aisha and the Make a Move Committee who want to see your face in the place come Sunday. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mario. How are you?
Try my best with it, episode. Try my best with it.
I believe I could be right.
I like that. I like that. You should know how clever you are.
That is my belief.
Yes,
And
indeed.
so am I right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, yes.
I speak it into existence.
Right?
That's the science of it. I
That's
know
right.
what's right.
That's
and
right.
I know what's wrong.
That's right.
You know that older brother Mario, right?
Yeah.
And he swayed those up until most recently about 3 years ago. That he was the favorite grandson for my grandfather.
Okay.
He was the favorite grandson, right?
Yeah.
Because, and I said, but he told me he was the favorite grandson.
Yeah.
I said, but you saying that because he's the only one that benefit and profit of a grandfather. So I tell him, listen, if he's the favorite grandfather died in 99, how come he ain't gave nothing until 2011? And he don't tell any career. So he could be the favorite grandson. But that's his belief. And I know what is right, Mario.
His belief,
You
yes.
understand? Yeah. So that's the behavior, man. I just use it that one, you know?
Yes,
Because I will try and teach you, show you a different belief or a different way.
Right.
And I know right from wrong. So as I read more and I get into a timeline evidence, boy, I really understand the truth. I really understand what I know. And not his belief. Because his belief is not my belief. And I know what is right.
Right.
You know? And what you've done is may be wrong. But I will prove you right.
Yeah.
So I soon come. So I just share that little one with you, man.
Well said, man. Well said.
He will tell us coming up that Brother Hatch take the Liberty Bell from St. Croix to the St. Thomas.
Right.
What kind of belief and who was right or wrong? Now, I never see Brother Hatch if not to take it to the St. Thomas. You understand me? He swim with the bell, he
Right.
was on a boat, how did he take his bell? Even that was a story.
Right.
And that was somebody's belief.
Right.
And I know what was right. I know Brother Hatch ain't picking up a bell to go take to St. Thomas.
Yeah.
You know? And all the time it's two different bells, Mario. It was a Liberty Bell and a Federal Bell, right?
Yes.
And I tell you, this belief thing is something serious.
It's easy.
They
It's
have
easy.
used it for, through the slavery time. And, look at the timeline of the Bible when it was, King James Version. And we want to Testament. You want to go back. Keep going back farther before that.
Right.
And you will really and truly find out what is right from wrong.
Yeah.
You know? But it's a shame to know that we get away from knowing what is right and try to say that our belief gets the best of we. But how your belief could get the best of you if you don't know what is right?
Yeah.
You don't know what's right. You know? You cannot be confused, Mario. That's the reality.
Right.
When you go to the bathroom, you can't go in a woman's bathroom. You go in a man's bathroom.
True.
You know? Yeah, that's the reality. You know, before you have child and kids to start a family, me as a mother need a woman.
Yep.
To have a family, to have a child.
That's right.
Male and female.
That's right.
I know who I am as a man, and I know my role as a man.
Right.
And I know it takes a negative and a positive to create something out of nothing.
That's right.
Not no goose or whatever. So, man and woman create life. And that's where we all come from. But, they'll tell us the Big Bang Theory that we come from somewhere out of something. And if the bugs and the worms come out of the earth, I'm pretty sure that's where we come from, Harry. So I'll leave on that note. You be good, Harry. One love.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. And beloved, yes, we are down to the last 5 minutes of our time. And beloved, I want to make sure I promote how to call it? Well, you call it by name. Our loved ones are alive in our hearts. It's a march and program. And beloved, it's been going on now for 11 years straight. This Sunday at 12 noon in the Frederick Party, we will be starting the 12th annual. You heard me? The 12th annual march and program. And beloved, the more our government, our good for not misleaders, them and those who we elect to represent us, the more they ignore it, the more we have to put it in front of them with the impact that it carries when you unveil those dozens and dozens and dozens, over 100 images of mostly young men who lost their lives because of violence, gun violence. Beloved, it is upon us, you and I, to make it known. And for this, I will be forever indebted to a woman I refer to as General, my General, beautiful Aisha. Because, beloved, yes, she experienced it. She did. She lost a son to gun violence. And beautiful Aisha, being who she is, she had to make a move committee. And for 11 years, this Sunday will be making 12 years in front of the government, let them know that, hey, this thing that you would ignore as if it is acceptable violence, because that's how you view it. Acceptable violence, as long as it don't spill over to white people, especially a white tourist. Otherwise, it's accepted violence amongst our own people. We killing, shooting each other, that's acceptable. Well, beautiful Aisha has found a emotionally impacting way to bring it in front of all of us. For us to see and feel the pain as you hear testimony, tributes to loved ones, by loved ones. And it's, beloved, it's heart-wrenching. And that in itself speaks to how emotionally impacted it is on the Smile community. And yet, our good-for-nothingness leaders continue to ignore it as they wish and hope that people like beautiful Aisha, the Make a Move committee, and the rest of us, they are hoping that we too would forget about it. But we can't, beloved. We simply can't. And that is why I said we need to see your face in the place. Because beautiful Aisha and the Make a Move committee is presenting the 12th annual March and program. Our loved ones, our life in our hearts. And with that I said to you, beloved, it don't matter how big a basket they give us. 1-1. We'll always pull it up just as long as we do it together.